There we go. We should be... Oh, I gotta mute myself because I can hear myself. That means we have sound. And let's just scoot right over to the live scene. Boom, there we go. Look at that. I even got a print going already.
What are you making tonight?
I'm making a little baby Groot.
I should just read, I guess.
And that's what most people do. Most people just come in and go, well, what are you making? It's right there.
Yeah.
Like, she does hear us. There we go. Hi, Miss Doe. We are live. We're not Memorex.
Not Memorex. That's old school.
That's old school. If you don't mind, I'm going to show you what I did last night because I had a catastrophic failure on a print.
Oh, okay.
And I made the print, and it looks great. It's got a great screw head. It fits right into the receptacle that it's supposed to fit into, but this is supposed to be on top of here. And I was holding it, and it just kind of broke right off because you can see the sparse density infill there is only at like 15%. So I tried and figure out how to fix it. This is a paper towel holder, by the way. Just so you know.
Okay.
It's got a little base, and it actually broke off here as well. It broke off here, and it broke off.
Oh.
So it broke off in two places. And I'm going, well, how do I fix something like that? And then I realized, I read something yesterday called modifiers. So I'm just going to...
Good evening, Mel.
I'm just going to add a source here and display capture, and we're going to go adding display capture. Primary, which is I think it's this one right there. Yeah, that's the one I want. Okay, and I'm going to make that smaller so they can still see us. But, so, I was looking at a model the other day. Hey, Epic. And I couldn't figure out why it had these cylinders around it. Why it had these yellow boxes around it. And so I went back to the model designer and I read what he did, like read his description of it. And he said he made, he added modifiers to it. And I didn't show Mrs. Doe this last night, even though I wanted to. But she didn't do it. So I added some modifiers. I forgot to add this one last night. I almost stopped the print and I thought, no, it should be okay. Because I added the modifier here. And this is where I think it broke off. So, so I reprinted this last night with all these modifiers on it, and you could just feel the difference between what it did and what a modifier does. I'll just go to strength down here. You'll see it says sparse density infill right here. Usually this whole thing was at 15%. 15% fill is what it is, and that's the fill is what gives it structural integrity so that it's not hollow. So what I did was I increased the sparse density infill, and I went from 15% to 50%, and you can really feel the difference. And I just did it in this area. Like, I didn't do the whole thing, which would have been very cost inefficient for the piece, because nothing in here is structurally needs a structural reinforcement, but this piece down here, gotcha, where the screws are, does. And it broke off right at this weak point right there, and I wanted it to be as strong as possible right there so that it wouldn't break again. And the same with the shaft, right? So, because you can see the shaft broke off on the base piece at the screws, where you can see the screws over on the bottom there. The screws are gone, and that's where it broke off.
Right.
So that's why I reinforced from like here up on the new model. And the same with this piece. I only increased this density infill. I forgot to do this one, but I think it'll be okay because this had no problem holding the broken piece in there. So, but I was so excited to learn a new technique and learn how to do this and that I could fix it. I wasn't even mad that I broke the print, that the print failed when I tried to move it, right? I was kind of like, well, crap, how do I fix that? And then I got to learn this whole new technique. So I was having fun last night.
So you turned it into a good learning experience.
Oh, absolutely. And honestly, that's what you should do. You know, you learn a lot more by failure than you do by succeeding all the time. Because if you succeed all the time, you never see an opportunity to improve, right? So now I've learned, and I've improved my skill in the 3D world. So I thought it was a lot of fun. So I wanted to share that with you because I really enjoyed it last night.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So that was the fun that I was having last night. I did actually print it. I printed myself one. It's kind of cool. I'll show you. It's pretty simple. It's just a base stand that your paper towel roll goes on, and the paper towel rolls freely until you push down at the top, and then you get tension, and you can just tug the paper towel roll off because it's got a little spring in there.
Well, that's pretty cool, actually.
It was so cool. But I also had made an error with this, an error in judgment in this one too. And I'll show you with the original. So the paper towel rolls we get are from Costco, right? And they're big.
Right.
They're big and they're tall.
Right.
So what I did, forgetting that there was going to need to be room for the spring at the top, I printed it out so it basically has just a little hair's width of space in there. I'm going, oh, that's an error.
Yeah.
So what I did is I took the two ends of the spring piece that were on the plate and I put them together and I made basically a shim, which was perfectly designed to fit in here anyways. So I put the shim in here and I printed another top so I can still use the top, and essentially it still works as a very good paper towel holder. So I salvaged problem solved.
Salvaged, yeah.
Yeah. I salvaged both of the ones that I made for me. Even though I made mistakes, I still have two functional paper towel holders by being able to modify the part that I needed, right? Which is what I love about the 3D printing. So
I guess it depends a little on what you're printing as well.
absolutely it does, yeah. Like modification and understanding the way filament lays down, that's an important one too, is understanding that when you lay in layers, things are prone to break side to side, right? It's harder to lay it down so that a circle is this way, but it would be more structurally efficient.
Gotcha. Right.
But that's why you increase the sparse density infill. So
There you go. Yeah.
okay, so enough nerding out. How's your week been?
Not bad, actually.
Good.
I think the fact fact that the weather's a little cooler is better for me. Um, my wrist is getting a little sore today, so there could be some storm coming. I'm not sure.
Well, I noticed it was looking a little overcast here too, and we only got I have 17, I think, today, so it's quite cool.
I'm not even sure if we got that high today.
What are we sitting at right now? We're sitting at 16 right now. So, yeah, I don't know that we made 17. But I was not happy, and I stayed in bed until like almost 2 o'clock. I said, to heck with it. I'm just not getting up today.
I went golfing while I was up.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I see. Yeah, I don't do that
But
stuff.
that's okay. Got golf.
You got the golf.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, you're yawning pretty good.
Oh yeah. No, well, it's I didn't get a nap in today, so
Ah, there we go. I didn't need a nap today.
but
But then,
I could have used one, but it just didn't.
to be fair, we didn't go to bed till about 4:30. So, because Mrs. Doe streamed last night and we went late and what's that?
I mean, it's not like you were asleep long.
No, I didn't. I got my 8.5 hours. I actually slept too, so that was good. Yeah. So I don't know if you had any topics you wanted to discuss today.
Well, I sort of have a question. I mean, you can do your word and everything, and you may already know this, but I was talking with a fella at work, an ex-teacher, and he gave me a term, and I thought, you might already know this, but we'll bring it up on, and if you
Okay.
haven't heard of it, we can look it up. And
Sounds good. Yeah, I love doing that. So let's bring up the word
yeah,
of
I
the
thought
day.
so. I was gonna look it up. I was gonna look it up, and then I thought, no, it's a good thing to do. I like it.
Yeah, we'll
doing it live.
start from scratch. Yeah. So the word of the
Yeah. Well, you might know.
I thought because of a lot of stuff that's been going on, I thought we would look at the word phobia today, because there's a lot of things that are called whatever phobia, and I'm going, you're using the word, but I don't know that you're not using it right. So let's start using words right, which is our whole thing for us. Because when you call somebody a phobe, yeah, we want because words matter, right? Words make a difference.
Right, well, they do.
Using
in
them,
my world, but
yeah, using them properly is important. When you call somebody a whatever phobe, are you an arachnophobe? Well, no, I'm not. I'm not really irrationally scared of spiders. I don't like them, but I don't have arachnophobia. I don't have an irrational fear of a specific object, situation, or activity that poses little or no actual danger. See, that's the key right there.
situation or an activity, even.
Yeah, that poses little or no actual danger. That's what a phobia is. A phobia is being scared of something that can't harm you, and it's a fear, right? It's not a disagreement or a ideological difference. It is a fear. It's classified as an anxiety disorder. So, I mean, let's be honest. When you call somebody a whatever phobe, hey, Gingy, is that actually true, or are you manipulating the words to guilt or shame that person? That's the problem. Because, and there's a certain culture out there.
Intention is always important.
Intention is important. Yeah, there's a culture out there that has started to that is very violent and aggressive and anti-Western, that has started to use this word, this phobe at the end of their religion to say, well, no, you shouldn't be able to criticize us, period. That's the wrong way to use it. That is a manipulation technique. Okay? Because, I mean, let's be honest here. What happened in Canada right now, what's happening in Canada right now, technically is, and for lack of a better term, because Catholics don't consider themselves Christian per se, they consider themselves Catholic. But what's happening is not just happening to Catholics, it's happening to Protestant churches as well. There's been 100 plus burnt churches in Canada, okay? In recent, since the unmarked graves at that in BC, since that whole nonsense went on, where we haven't even dug up yet. Since that happened, there's been over 100 churches burned across Canada. Now, retaliation based on something that happened is wrong in the first place, but wouldn't that be basically Christianophobe? Because Christians as a whole, even Catholics, are, their main goal is to help other people, to be kind to other people. I mean, Christ said, do unto others as you would have done to you, right? So that's an irrational fear of a specific object, situation, or activity that poses no actual danger. Whereas we have evidence that this other cultural religion has, let's say 9/11, or let's be honest, there is evidence that there's an actual fear level to them, and yet they're the ones calling us phobes for criticizing them.
And where it says no actual danger, actually there are some spiders that can kill you, so I mean,
on the 3D camera, yes, it's a time lapse. Hi, Misha. Yes, the camera on this is different than the ones I use for the downstairs ones, just because this is an inherent base model camera. So, and that's where I wanted, and with the new hate speech laws coming into place into Canada, I thought this was vitally important to discuss. Because anytime somebody calls you a phobe, it can be considered hate speech. Now, is that actually a phobia? Is that term right? No. Are you disagreeing with someone, and then you get called a phobe of whatever, and are you now deemed to be engaging in hate speech? So it's vitally important, especially now that we have clarity in certain things, because speech matters, especially when you have the government monitoring speech and deciding what is hate and what is not.
you haven't heard they haven't heard, like, is that bill in line now, or
It's come in play. Yeah, it's passed.
okay?
And
Well,
you sent
it'll
me
be
something.
interesting to see charging people.
Yeah, and that's what you sent me. You said it'd be interesting when they started charging, and that's kind of what brought me to this right here, right?
Right.
Is because when you start to understand, pasta and cheese sauce, yummy. When you start to understand that the government can control your speech by basically charging you for something that they deem as hate speech, but could be actually considered free speech under the Charter of Rights and Freedoms.
Well, there was, I don't know if this is the one I sent you, but it was funny because the guy's on there. If anyone gets charged with this, give me a call. He can't defend everybody, but he made it sound like he was a lawyer.
He is. He actually is. He's a lawyer. Plus, they will start GoFundMe's to fund people who who are charged under this, and they'll raise the money because they're good at that. That what you sent, who you sent me, they do that for people. They will fund you if they can't defend you themselves. So,
Right.
which is, it's good. It's important to know.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see.
But I wanted to bring this up because there's a lot of phobes. You know, you're a phobe if you don't agree or don't like or have a belief different than a lot of things out there, right? And that's not how the word works. That's just not an appropriate use of the term.
Well, they're twisting a whole bunch of different words to their purpose.
And honestly, that's the problem, and that's what we're trying to get to. Is we're trying to get to the understanding where words matter, using the right words do, and understanding who's using them to manipulate you is important. Watch how they say it and why they're saying it.
Well, yes. I mean, I'm a little suspicious of everybody in that sense. It's like, well, why did you say it that way? Or why are you doing that? And I mean, that's unfortunate. I hate to be like that, but I think that's where we're at.
Well, you have to be. I mean, let's be completely honest here. Being a skeptic is not harmful. Being a skeptic keeps you safe. Oh, bye. And everybody should be a skeptic. If you're not a skeptic out there, you should be a skeptic. Be skeptical of everything. Ask questions. Wonder why they said it the way they did. Look at their words. I mean, a lot of times people use words rather than doing actions, and that's what we've found recently is that especially in the Canadian government, they've been using a lot of words and patting themselves on the backs for doing nothing, but they make it look like they've done something.
Well, yeah. Well, they're doing something.
What they're doing is not what they say they're doing, though. That's the thing. And
No.
that's why being a skeptic is important. Be skeptical of everything. I'm not saying choose a party and don't be skeptical of them. I'm saying be skeptical of everybody.
Everyone's got, I mean, and you know what? It's not always bad either. Like let's not go all doom and gloom on this.
No, skepticism is not bad. Skepticism is basically the scientific model. You know, ask questions, challenge it. That's how you get to the truth, which is what we strive for, right?
Well, you should.
What you should strive for. I mean, it's lazy to just accept something and not challenge it or you know, it's just a lazy method of being. And I get it. People are busy. People don't have the time to think about everything. Some people's jobs mentally drain them. Some people's jobs physically drain them. You know, and they just don't have the energy after the fact to be a skeptic. But it's important. It's an important part of life to challenge the status quo, challenge what somebody says, or at least take it with you know, there's you can take it with a grain of salt. You can say, okay, well, whatever, or you can say, did they mean this? Or you can start to think about it. But sure, I'm a chronic overthinker, but sometimes I just say, no, when somebody tells you something, just believe what they say. Because when somebody tells you that they want your whole society dead, maybe just believe them. I'm okay with believing that. Because,
Well, yeah. I mean, if they're saying something like that, they're not really trying to hide anything.
no, and that's what I like about freedom of speech, though. It gives the zealots and the crazies a platform to let you know that they're zealots or they're crazy, so that you can protect yourself. And it's all about protecting yourself from being manipulated, from being taken advantage of, from being in danger. Like that's why skepticism is important.
Yeah.
So be a skeptic out there. Like there's so many people
Well,
with
we've talked about that too.
yeah,
It's okay to ask a question.
yeah. And like I said to I told Lynn something the other day. She was over for the like 12 days and we talk a lot. And I told her, if there's ever anything you question that I told you, just ask Mom and look it up. Because I'm never going to try to steer you wrong. And I have no problem
Right.
with someone looking up what I say.
Right.
Because if I'm wrong, like and we say this all the time, if I'm wrong, I want to know I'm wrong.
Exactly. Otherwise, you're just going to keep saying it, right?
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm going to keep being wrong. And that, how do you
Yeah,
get?
that's well. Yeah. Yeah.
You don't get better until you know better, and I need to know better by having you tell me if I'm wrong. Of course, I'm going to look it up. So you
Right.
can't just tell me I'm wrong and say you're wrong. Well, why am I wrong? Well, this is why. Okay, let's examine that. You got a bug bugging you?
Mosquito.
Oh, skeeters. Get them. Get them.
Though. I got him, but he didn't stay. Didn't get him good enough because he flew away.
I had a fly like that in here the other day. I'm using I got an electric zapper for the flies. I zapped them like 5 times. Still had to swat them with a regular swatter to get them.
Oh.
He's like, nah, I like that. Hit me again, Daddy. That's speaking of. Right, Misha? Oh, we were playing a game the other night and it got a little crazy. See, there you go. Shut up, Art. I clipped a sound from Misha's stream where he and I were going on about some stuff and yeah, it just it ended up being quite funny. So
Humor is good too.
what's that? Humor? Love humor.
I said humor is good.
Yeah. Well, it's all about and your $19.99 subscription, yeah. For Alexa double D's, yeah. Oh, speaking of, we Misha and I have started a business. See, and Epic, this is still your bill, and it's it's due in 30 days, right? We're impromptu IT services. But here, let's get rid of the text there for a minute. Go to curse. We're gonna make it bigger. Yeah, so Epic didn't know he had this plus version of Alexa running, and it was going to charge him like $19.95 a month.
Why?
Yeah, so Misha and I were somehow the conversation got Alexa to reveal that he had a subscription, and he canceled it because of us. So I made a bill. It's Bart and Misha's impromptu IT services. We're here when you didn't even know you needed us. So that's my marketing for this week.
How do you end up subscribing for that?
Yeah, I think you have to accept it. It is funny. It was a funny night. You have to ask Alexa and get her to subscribe for you, and then you have to agree and stuff like that, or you have to click on something in your Alexa app, something like that. But it could have happened just by what he said by accident, or his mother could have done it by accident, because they're listening, right? They're always listening.
Listening.
So through this humorous bit that we had going on, we found out that he had this plus service and he didn't want it because he didn't want to spend $20 a month on it. So,
No kidding.
and what we did was is we heard, like, if do you have an Alexa at home?
I do, yes.
Okay, you know she has a regular voice. Alexa, can you tell me a joke?
How do you measure a burrito? In enchiladas.
In enchiladas. I like it. Now, you notice it was kind of a monotone, not very human voice.
You
Right.
you actually made mine tell a joke.
Oh, good, good, good. Well, it has that kind of monotone, not really too human, more robotic voice. Well, we found that when we heard Epic's go on behind him, his was a very human, very, a very sultry voice. And I'm going, wait, that's not how my Alexa sounds. So it turns out he was asking,
Oh, the voice.
yeah, the voice change gave it away. So if you ever hear this more sultry, more human voice, definitely check.
Well, that's that interesting.
Yeah. So we thought that sounds so much different. I mean, and we asked, so if I can change my Alexa's voice, can I make it sound like this person on GTA, that Angel? She's the house manager for your mansion, because she has quite the voice. So we went on with that. Oh, hi, Michelle.
Oh no, she's just backing in.
Oh, back it up, back it up. So yeah,
Well,
so
I was waiting for her to get home and give me a tea.
oh, there you go. I still got my coffee. I've only been sipping on it for 3 hours.
I don't think I should have a coffee yet. I want to go to sleep tonight.
And it doesn't seem to bother me. So, but anyways, yeah, we
Well, I do make herbal tea.
oh, okay. So you're not even real tea, but an infusion. Remember, I'm a tea snob. Tea snob.
Yeah.
It was a fun night, and you got out of a subscription you didn't even want. So hey, everything worked. But that's how we came up with this.
Michelle,
This
would you make me a tea? Thank you.
no, make him an infusion, Michelle. He doesn't like real tea. Hi, Michelle.
She's ignoring you. She said hi, but
But
she didn't say anything about the tea.
Although Gingy got me the coolest thing. She got me a little tea infuser that you pour the water through the top, and you put the cup underneath, and it has a little magnet that lets it drain. But the tea she got me is a color change tea. Hey, Vampiric, which is really quite cute, but it's supposed to be high in antioxidants. I haven't been drinking as much as because I don't really want to use it up. But it is the prettiest thing to watch steep. It's called butterfly. Butterfly. Where do we got it here? There it is. Who is? Yeah, Darren is. Yeah, he's tired. It's a butterfly pea tea. Which is really unique. It's more of an infusion because it doesn't come from traditional tea leaves. It's more of a flower. Oops, dropped one. Where'd you go? But when you steep it, it goes from blue to purple. And it's very, very pretty. And the
Okay. You get that? Did that come from like a specialty place, or?
I believe so, yeah. And the tea service she got me looks like this. You put the tea in the top, and you pour the water in and let it steep. You leave this off for now, and then when you want to fill the little cup underneath, you pull it over here, and it magnetizes the ball out of the way, and it just pours down into the carafe. And it is the coolest thing. I won't put that away. I might actually make some later. But I found those on TikTok. I was watching some of them. Yeah, I'm printing Groot. I was watching TikToks back in the day, and watching them actually steep in these things is very cool. Nope, let me check. It didn't give me enough time. Give a shit a
You
meter.
can read that, but I guess yeah, it go.
Let me check the give a shit a meter.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Well, isn't
Gingy.
that funny?
That's it. Yeah, exactly. So.
So, have you heard the term gentle parenting?
Yes, I hate that. It's a stupid term.
Oh, okay. That's the one that he had told me about, and I was like, yeah, no, I hadn't heard that, but
Okay. I made labels for my jars of fucks. I made a jar of fucks. Oh, get over there. There. And I made labels for it. And it says, this is my jar of fucks. Jar of Fs. There aren't many left, and when it runs out, things could go off the rails. So I 3D printed some middle fingers, and I put them in a jar, and I made labels.
gentle parenting was the term, Mrs. Doe.
And what did he think about gentle parenting?
I didn't look it up. I was waiting to discuss it here.
Okay, what did he think? Did he say?
No, he didn't. No.
Okay. Well, I
He
know
just
what...
said, he goes, it's not very good. He goes, look it up.
Yeah. You want a jar? Well, here's the thing about gentle parenting, and let's do look it up because we want to be factually correct, right?
Right.
What is gentle parenting? Gentle parenting is a child rearing style rooted in empathy, respect, and understanding and boundaries, focused on connection and natural consequences rather than punishment and rewards. Also known as collaborative or respectful parenting, it teaches children as fully realized individuals, which they are not, aiming to teach self-regulation and emotional intelligence through guidance rather than control. Oh my God.
Okay, there you go.
No punishment or rewards. It avoids traditional discipline methods like timeouts, yelling, or reward charts, instead using natural consequences and problem solving. Okay, how do you know any child even below the age of 15, that has problem solving skills. Like, you know, let's be honest, they're not mentally capable of doing a lot of stuff that gentle parenting expects them to do, from the sounds of it.
Well,
I mean,
they expect a lot of the kids nowadays.
oh yeah, they expect, well, you'll figure it out, you'll be fine, you know, jump off the roof. Yeah, what could happen, right? You do you. Active listening. Oh. Emotional validation. No, suck it up. You have emotions, but you don't need to act on every single one. Oh, please speak up a bit, Darts. I thought I had him up there. Talk for a second. I'm going to adjust your volume level.
Is it on your end or is it on my end?
It might be on mine. Let's try that. Let's see how that is.
I feel like I'm talking the same, but
Yeah, I'm. It might have actually zipped you down a little bit. I just popped you up to 100 on the VOD mix. So she can hear a bit better now. Jump off the roof. Hey, listen. Okay, we had a fuck around and find out childhood. We did stupid shit like that, and we paid the consequences.
well, we jumped off our garage roof, but it also wasn't very tall and we were in no danger.
Didn't we do it on Officers Row and jump onto your trampoline? Or tried to jump onto your trampoline?
No, I don't think. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I thought we did.
I wouldn't have trusted that. That's not something I would have done.
Okay. Because I remember that. But I thought we were aiming for a trampoline. Anyways. So emotional validation. Parents acknowledge and validate a child's feelings even when setting firm limits, helping the child feel heard and secure. Okay, I'm not a big anti-emotional validation guy. I'm just, you can't express all your emotions every time at a whim. You have to learn to control them. Whether you have them or not, it's fair you have them, but you need to learn how to control yourself. That's where they just try to, you know, parents act as coaches.
Well, I've always told Marley that. I said, you know what? Your emotions are your emotions. When you hear something or something happens, you feel the way you do. Generally, you can't change that because you just react to something. But what you do control is what you do after you have those.
How you react. Yeah. It's how you react.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, honestly, teaching them to control how they react, to stop teaching them to control bad reactions. I mean, that's the problem, right? It's the bad reactions, not so much the good reactions. A coaching mindset. Parents act as coaches who help children navigate big emotions and develop social skills rather than authoritarian rules. Why is my tongue so tied right now? So essentially what they're saying is instead of laying down the law and letting them know this is acceptable, this is not. No, you can't do that. But they're going to do it again because you've laid down no laws. You said they shouldn't do that. But, you know, that's not going to tell them they can't. Authoritarianism, you know, we all live by rule of law.
How do you do it again?
Yeah. If there's no consequences other than someone talking to you about it, why wouldn't you do it again?
Right. Right.
So
that's kind of human nature. Say.
Yeah, we all live by rule of law. We don't do things because there are consequences involved with our actions. Sometimes that consequence is jail. Sometimes that consequence is a fine. You know, we don't do the bad things because there's an authoritarian rule that tells us, which is called the rule of law. And living in a house should be no different. You have a rule of law in the house. It's not authoritarian. You are in charge of keeping your children safe. because that's the way it is. And if you lay down the laws, but they don't respect the laws, they're just going to break the law. I mean, look at the criminals out there right now. They don't respect the law, so they break the law. They don't care. But if you make the punishment...
Well, they get a slap on the wrist.
Exactly. If you make the punishment prohibitive to committing the crime, then the crime doesn't happen.
Well, and you're just talking about like the law side of it. I mean, if you do something really stupid, you might kill yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's where, you know, I get what they're trying to do. They've gone from the boomer set where we had like very strict rules, but we had this set of freedom too. That the Gen X had this set of freedom where boomers had this strict set of laws, but once you left the house, you were basically feral. You fended for yourself. You screwed around and did something stupid. You paid the price, right? So it's almost like they're counteracting the harsh tone that set the standard for the people that we know to grow up and be rule followers rather than rule breakers. They've set that standard aside for trying to coddle children. And I get that sometimes they need a little more gentle than I possess. But at the same time,
well,
my goal remains the same, to keep my children safe and to keep an orderly household, right?
Well, and I think it's like we've talked about these kind of things before. It's, you know, and with some bosses and even in families, it's like, you know, maybe that was a little on the harsh side. So maybe that did need to be toned down a little bit. But we've talked about that. They always go overboard the other way.
They always go the extreme, right? Instead of moderating themselves, they go, no, we can't ever let this happen again. You know, I never heard my dad say he loved me. I never heard my dad say thank you. I never heard my dad say, you know, a lot of stuff until very much later in the year, in his years, where he would thank me for things. But you know, there were a lot of things that just weren't said, but it didn't matter. I don't know why. Hey, James, you know, I wanted my kids to know that I love them. So I changed that within myself. You know, I didn't want to be that type of parent. Right. So you change things without going overboard. You see the problem, you identify a problem, you correct the problem. Now, I didn't correct all the problems, I'm sure, but that's not entirely possible. I can only do, especially when you're dealing with everything that I was dealing with from when the kids were young, right? Like you've got to remember, this is I've been dealing with pain now for 28 years. The first 13 were on high levels of medication. So there was a lot of stuff I would have preferred to have corrected, but I just didn't have the capacity with everything I was dealing with, and it started to come later, right? So, but that's the thing.
Oh, I mean, you fix things when you find them, right?
Yeah. And
I mean, you don't, but sometimes it takes us longer to find them. That's all.
Exactly. Yeah. It's sometimes we don't have the capacity to find them at certain times, right? But there were things that I didn't want. I wanted my kids to hear and to feel that I didn't hear and feel. I also didn't feel like I missed it that much. You know, there was almost an inherent understanding, for lack of a better word. So, I don't know.
And in back then too, men didn't show a lot of their feelings, right?
Yeah, and like, you understood that.
Well, come on, you know.
Yeah, you understood it. Yeah, but you're right. I think it's like they've gone to the extreme the other way, just to try and counteract whatever emotional damage they had. Right, Miss Doe? Emotional damage. She was at the eye doctor the other day, and she had to go alone because I had to wait here with the service guy I had coming for the AC and furnace. We were just doing a maintenance, but she's there, and she says, "Oh my gosh, my phone just went off just after the nurse asked me a question if everything was everything was good, and her phone goes emotional damage." And she goes, "Well, yeah, except for the emotional damage, I'm fine." And it was just the timing of it was so perfect.
That is pretty good, yeah.
I would have laughed my ass off. That was funny.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Well, that was a pretty good one.
Yeah. I'm going to just finish up with the follow-up here. While proponents argue it reduces anxiety and improves parent-child bond, challenges exclude high emotional effort required from the parents and needs for significant patience to maintain calm during stressful moments. So if you're not prepared to put the work in, the exceptional amount of emotional effort and patience, maybe a little more authoritarian rule might be best for you. You lay down the law. This is the way it is. This is what you do. The consequences are this. Consequences, we all have consequences to actions. Why should children learn any different?
Well, not all of us do. There's a few people getting away with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, there are some. So, yeah.
Luckily, they're in the minority, though.
Yeah, luckily. And it's not that. I mean,
well,
I'll be honest.
There has to be a correction.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I do a little more gentle parenting with the grandkids than I did with the kids, just because I understand more and I'm able to more.
Right.
But at the same time,
well, I think grandparents have the ability to do that.
Yeah. Well,
young parents are still young and learning and experiencing stuff. And
here's what I think you're hitting on right there is grandparents have the capacity to do it simply because we're not around them all the time too. So we have the emotional downtime. Right. We have the patience downtime in between to allow us the ability to do it better than a parent who's around them all the time, where that emotion all the time emotional high and all the time patient level high can be extremely stressful. And I feel like that's one of the problems that gentle parenting would present is just the exhaustion from having that all the time feeling like you have to be emotionally vulnerable all the time. You're just, you got to keep telling them and keep telling them and keep telling them and keep telling them, and that's the problem, right? Whereas if you lay down a rule of law, which is not authoritarian, let's be honest, there's a difference between a rule of law house and an authoritarian house. Now, they're calling it an authoritarian house just because there are rules that are set out with rewards and punishments, right? But a reward and punishment, the stick and carrot system, it does work. It allows them to understand that there are rewards to good behavior and consequences to bad behavior.
Well, and the rewards and consequences don't have to be drastic.
No, but I think if you mix the two, if you could combine some gentle parenting with rule of law parenting, I think you could find a really good balance and not be always at your wit's end as a parent. Because I think...
Well, and most young parents aren't capable of that.
No, it's, and let's be honest, when we're young, we're still learning too, especially new parents, young parents. We were still learning. We had so much to learn. So on top of all of the possible emotional effort and patience, you've still got to learn about your children, learn how to deal with your children, and learn. Plus, you're still dealing with your work. You're still dealing with the rest of your life, things that go wrong. Gingy just had an accident this week, or was it this week or was it last week? Last week. So the stress on top of that, a situation where you're already emotionally worn out, right? It's just, there's a lot going on. So I think a balance between rule of law parenting and gentle parenting could subside some of the emotional effort that I think gentle parents might have. But that's just me. I'm not a psychologist.
No, but we think about things pretty rationally. I mean, I do believe there's room for both.
Yeah, I do too.
But the thing of it is, I mean, those parents are going to, like, not all of them, but some of those parents are going to find out what trouble they're causing themselves.
Okay, one
I
second.
mean, it'll be too late by that point, but
Yeah. So one day I found a note she wrote, and I have to say it changed me a little. It was sad. When you were a kid, you were a lot to handle. Yeah, I wasn't a lot to handle as a kid, so I mean, I was the least of my parents' worries, to be honest.
yeah.
So but
Well,
I mean,
looking back on it, I didn't give my kids, or I mean, my parents much grief, really. In all
no, we
honesty.
really didn't. How did, yeah, because we had the ability to be so bad. I mean, let's be honest, we could have gone down some really bad routes, but we just didn't.
We could have. Well, we hung around with the right people, right?
We had
That's
good
kind
peer
of
pressure, yeah.
generally how you look at that kid. Yeah, as kids, you get in with the wrong crowd, and then that's when things go a little sideways.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, it was crazy. But so yeah, I see a definite benefit to both sides, and like I said, we do start to do that with, especially with Lynn. We haven't had as much interaction with Bobby because, well, he's younger and COVID kind of screwed up the amount of time we could spend with him. But we did get 4 good days with him. So I mean, and there was zero issue, like zero
behind,
issue.
that-
Yeah, he's younger, and we're trying to catch up with him too. And Lynn feels a little more free here. Lynn feels a little more at home here. So we have,
Well, she's had experience at it.
yeah, so we can have more issues with her. We don't generally. The biggest issue I think we have with her is her expressing herself, what she needs. And you would think that she would feel free to ask for something if she wants it, right? Because we always tell her, well, what would you like?
Right.
We give her the options and this and that, and it's not like mums or pops don't try to give her all the stuff we can. I mean,
Right.
but she still doesn't like to. Yeah, she just shuts down rather than saying what she needs. But we've started to break through that barrier, where
Oh, good.
so that's a good thing, yeah. And that's going to be especially important as she gets into her teen years, where she's going to be more reclusive and be more yeah, and that's the thing. I know she does that there too. So just so you know, there's similar situations going on here that we're trying to establish, just ask at home too. You're not always going to get a yes, but you don't know until you ask. It is a team effort. Yeah. It's just like cleaning up and stuff like that. It's one of the things that when Bobby was here, Bobby has a tendency to eat kind of sloppy. Okay.
Oh,
Pops doesn't allow it. Pops watches, kind of has an eye over there all the time. Bobby, lean over your plate.
right,
Bobby, let's not make a mess.
Right. right.
It's just, and it's not that I'm getting mad at him or anything like that. I'm just gently correcting his behavior, which should be all it takes.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah. So it's just those little things. Lynn has a problem going to bed. I mean, for the first like 11 days 10 days she was here, she had no problem with me just sending her off to bed, go in and tuck her in a little bit. But she was tired. She gets overtired because she wants to stay up. But it's a different mindset here, where I do have a rule of law. This is when what I say goes. Period. It's not that you can't have your say, and it's not that you can't ask. I'll explain why my rule of law is. So,
Well, and at the end of the day, it's your house. I
Yeah.
mean,
yeah,
I want things like this done in my house, and it's your house. If someone doesn't like it, they don't have to visit, right?
well, exactly. And it's more about having your house run in the way that you're comfortable with, right? Rather than, because when you, especially when you're a visitor, you should definitely be aware of how people do things in their own home, right? So you can respect that.
Well, I mean, you make your home your own. It's like, I'm sorry, I am not going to let someone make me feel uncomfortable in my own home.
Yep. Yep. So,
Or in my own home, sorry.
and I think it's easier with the grandkids because they come over and they already understand. I mean, Lynn already understands most of the stuff that we got going on around here.
Right.
Lynn actually, while she was here, she took her first ever shower alone by herself.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now we don't have a tub, so it's not very slippery. Like it's a flat bottom, so it's not that curved
Right.
tub. So there's a lot less danger, but yeah, Mrs. Doe's right. I mean, you remember when we had Stacy or had Gingy, right? We said there's no smoking in our house, period. That's it. Period. Now, I said that far before we had kids, but when kids came about, there were that rule was hard and fast. There was no exception.
Right. Right.
But our parents, oh God, both sides had such a huge deal with it.
Yeah.
I mean, and talk about
Yes.
the selfishness. A shower is different because she doesn't like water in her face. Lynn doesn't like water in her face. So, and she
really?
goes, and Mumsy goes, well, Pops just stands with his face under the shower head, right? She goes, he does? And he likes that? Yeah, I love it. Right there in my face. I have no problem with water in my face. So, what was I saying? I read something and my mind moved on. Well, no, it was good for her. So, the selfishness that it takes and smokers are bad for this. Smokers are horrible. They don't want to be put out. They don't want to go around the corner instead of sitting in front of the door to the restaurant and smoke.
Yeah.
We had that issue at Wendy's, and so Mrs. Doe mentioned that you got an employee sitting right outside the door smoking, like right there. Just go down, go a little ways down. You know?
Well, especially an employee.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Employees should be the first ones to get out of the freaking way. Because you can't complain about another customer or some random douchebag. But smokers are ultimately very selfish. And I found that like just the smoker aspect of them is selfish. The person may not be selfish, but the smoker aspect of them is.
There you go.
Oh man, no.
I thought I was going to think something and I totally forgot it.
We used to go swimming. Okay, Bart is blind as a bat. I take my glasses off. I got blurs. Everything is a blur. But you can't swim with your glasses, right? So there came a point where it's just, I'm just going to have to swim whether I can see or not. So I can't see underwater anyway. So I'll figure out where the surface is. You just learn to swim. You learn, you know. I mean, we never really had swimming lessons either that I remember. But
we had some up
where?
We took swimming lessons at the lake.
Oh, see, and I never did that. So, yeah.
Oh, it was not very much because the water was cold.
Yep. But I just always loved water. I've always loved swimming. Even the paddling pool in McNabb Park, we used to love going to the paddling pool, right? I mean, it was just a paddling pool. It was not deep at all, but from there we started going to Mayfair and then Harry Bailey. And I'm never having a swimming lesson. I'm running and jumping off the 10-meter board, the high diving board. But I can't see shit.
Yeah. Didn't have to see it.
Getting goggles.
So I was listening to the radio, and they were talking about some kind of study where employees now seem to think it's okay to show up late for work.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a whole culture of tardiness that's gone on. Yeah, I mean, but how do you enforce it when your employers are gentle parenting them, for lack of a better word?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, well, but back in the day, some of our early jobs, if you showed up for late work, or if you showed up late for work, you didn't do it a second time, or you didn't have a job.
Yeah, you don't do it twice unless there's a good reason. I mean, not just getting, I didn't sleep well, or, I got up late. I mean, oh my God, the times I spent at the bar till closing and past, still got up at 7 o'clock to go to work.
Yeah. I never missed a day of work because of drinking.
Nope.
Or partying, I mean.
Or partying, yeah, because I didn't always drink at the bar either, so. But yeah, no.
I mean, I'm not just. I had some pretty rough days, but I was still there and working.
Oh yeah, even after a tequila Tuesday. Even after a tequila Tuesday, you're there bright and early Wednesday morning.
Yeah. We weren't doing any kind of work that was, anybody was going to get hurt, but.
Nope. So, we weren't endangering anybody, except ourselves, maybe.
Well, maybe yourself, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, but showing up late.
Yeah, there's probably moving days, but
I'm still of the mindset, if I'm not 10 minutes early, I'm late.
Yep, I agree with that. But I also I don't like walking in and just starting. I like to sort of assimilate to my surroundings.
That makes sense. Yeah. 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 Well, put away your stuff, get ready, and then you're ready to go, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's this culture of
Well,
yeah, put your mind in work mode. Yeah, there does seem to be this prevailing culture of laxness, this random, and I believe it's what's called oh, what is it called? There's a name for it. Oh, it's not even laziness, but some of it's on purpose, vampiric. Uh, uh,
well, that's what I think. I think some of it is on purpose.
there is actually a name. I just can't remember what it's called. It's kind of a it's kind of like a silent strike or something like that.
Well, you know, and the thing is, like, there's some comments there, like, about, well, you know, you show up late all the time, we wouldn't have a job. But I think you made a good point there. Is it, there just doesn't seem to be any consequences.
Yeah. Okay, silent strike is actually what I was talking about. In a legal or labor context, a silent strike is a covert work stoppage that employees reduce production of their efficiency without officially declaring a strike, making it difficult for employers or courts to intervene. Now,
Right.
yeah, quiet quitting or something like that, where the employee does the bare minimum required by their job description and leave exactly on time to protest conditions or wages without formal notification. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, was quiet quitting or silent strike. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things where I think it becomes on purpose sometimes that people are doing it just to as a protest, as a form of protest, which is, you know,
Yeah, I get you.
which is fine if you're going to protest, but if you're going to protest in a manner that is detrimental to the business, then the business does have a right to fire you.
We've talked about this before, though, too. Like, you remember, like, when we were young looking for a job, like, there was so many people applying for that same job. Now they seem to be having a hard time finding employees.
Well, you know,
So getting rid of someone is not quite the easy answer all the time.
if they're having such a hard time finding employees, why is it still such a hard time to find a job, right? And that's where we go back
Yeah.
to the abuse of the temporary foreign workers program, right? That's why it's so hard to find a job. Because
Well, but I think there's some people that don't want to do certain jobs either.
yeah, but that's not, you know, honestly, if you're not paying a wage that attracts the people to do the job, and you need a subsidy to get people to get that job, do that job, you don't deserve to be in business. If you're not making enough to pay the wage that the person that attracts the person to work for you, that's the whole point of the free market system, right? It benefits both employers and employers. So stop subsidizing, and we could get back to a market system where it's better for everybody. It's one of those things where,
Oh, no, I understand that. I mean, but how many jobs did we work at for minimum wage before we finally started getting raises? And
how many shit jobs?
yeah, no, exactly.
Right? Good catch.
Well, and I think that's where some employees or employers, sorry, really have to work hard at making their employees understand, like,
Yeah, Yeah,
because
and it
if
should be
if
clearly-
you can't find people, then you really have to find a way to make it work.
Yeah. Exactly. So, I mean, if you want people, you've got to work with people. But just here having a snack. I don't feel snackish because we had a late lunch today. So, anyways, I'll just give you a quick show here. Like, you can see all the supports on them right now. I'm just going to remove those supports so you can see what he looks like afterwards.
Oh yeah, quite a few. Well,
Yeah.
and it's funny because of him being a tree, that almost looks normal.
Yeah, right. It is not. But this is one of the things that I've been playing with a lot lately is supports, because I've been doing some models that are very detailed, and they've been coming out really, really nicely. And like, especially right here where his fingers are, that's going to take some gentle work.
Because it's so
So-
small.
Yeah, because they're small. Hopefully I can see.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of one of those things where I'm trying to learn how to better manage, because I'm kind of a brute. Okay, let's be honest.
Yeah.
I can be a little forceful, and I'm trying to teach myself to be more to be less of a hammer and more of a scalpel. If that makes
just
sense.
be a little more. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, I was always called Rammy.
Exactly. Yeah, but we grew up
My
like
mom,
that, right?
"You're so Ram."
We grew up when we were just, we were the epitome of boys. We were rambunctious and hard-nosed, and so, but yeah. Let's get these beard whiskers off. There we go. But yeah, if it, and Mrs. Doe's had a couple where they want to keep her late and stuff like that, and I'm going, yeah, but gentle. Because I've gotten into model painting, as you've seen, right? So I've been building some models, and I'm trying to make it so that the supports are easier to remove. I didn't modify the supports on this guy at all. I just printed them. I maybe should have, because
What model are you doing?
well, I've got a mostly video game and anime models. Well, that worked out all right. So, but here, I'll show you the fingers. Oh. Yeah, they're okay. There we go. Groot. But there's and those are that's the fingers right here that had the
Oh
all
yeah,
the support around them, and they
well,
came
that's
out
pretty
okay.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a cute little Groot, baby Groot. So I will
That'll be paint. You're gonna paint that though?
yeah, I don't have to do a lot because I use a good color for it, and that's what I've been doing with the female models that I've been doing as well. I'm using a base model of a
Right.
beige or a skin tone where I don't have to paint too much of their skin tone because I'm not real good with skin tone. But yeah, I'm gonna add some browns and some grays, and we'll try to get him looking like little Groot. I'll add his eyes, and but he's cute. But yeah, so I'm trying to do because I've really started to enjoy painting, which is something I never thought I'd be into, especially model painting. But after I did that chit model, I found I really enjoyed it. So I started working on my bunny girl. She's coming. I can only paint so much at a time, but she's coming along. We got her hair done now, and I got to touch up on some red and add some stockings. There we go. That's done. But like I did those Marvel characters as well. I did those in specific colors so that I could just accent rather than
not like a full paint.
Right. But there's one that I'm going to do. I'm going to do Geralt of Rivia, or Geralt of Rivia. I don't know how they say it. Have you heard of the game Witcher?
I've heard of it.
Okay. Have you seen the show on Netflix?
No.
Okay.
It's on my watch list.
It's good. And I'll be honest, Henry Cavill as the Witcher, he's freaking brilliant.
Yeah.
Freaking brilliant. I mean, he's a great actor. Like I really like the way he does stuff. So all right, we'll do that. Put you over there. Let it download. So yeah, I have it. I played The Witcher 3. There was a previous Witcher that is a little less, the battle, the controls to fight were not as good, but I really enjoyed The Witcher 3. And so yeah, I actually have a Geralt of Rivia Funko Pop too, because I did enjoy the game.
Like, is that like a first-person shooter type of thing, or?
No, it's a third-person role play type. It does have aspects of a first-person shooter where you do combat live, not as in turn-based. Right. So you get hit and they hit you. You hit and they hit at the same time. So it's not a true role play, but at the same time, right. It's very it's much better than the original one. I'm surprised because the shows were awesome. Oh, there. Now we're gonna see Dash poop.
Clean out time?
Yep, it's cleaning out the old filament to put new filament through, and that's what's called a poop. So last night I'm printing on my P1S downstairs, and I named I had to rename all my printers because Misha and I got the A1 minis at the same time, right? And he named his Edna at my request because I can't remember the exact reasons, but from The Incredibles, I thought the name Edna would be perfect. So I renamed mine to The Incredibles as well. And this is Dashiell, which is the speedy guy, right? The son. But I named my H2D, the big one, Mr. Incredible. And I named the P1S Elastigirl. So last night we're talking and I'm going, come on, sweet cheeks. And I'm talking to my printer. Come on, sweet cheeks, let's go. And Miss Stowe goes, you've never called me sweet cheeks. I'm sure I have, but okay. I was sure I had, but
He doesn't do printer.
yeah. Her 3D printing is much less profound. It's more of a just brown lump. Your poop is not as cute.
Oh.
So we're talking last night, and I'm watching Elastigirl poop, and then I'm thinking, there's a reason people shouldn't name their printers.
Yep.
Shouldn't name inanimate objects, because that sounded horrible.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
But it was funny.
It'd be like, what are you watching?
Exactly. Look, what site are you on?
Yeah.
Nope, that's a live stream downstairs.
Well, that's what you'd almost expect. Like,
I didn't
what are
even
you
think of
watching?
that.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that. That's funny though.
Do you have another print planned already?
Oh yeah, I'm already starting to print. I'm gonna print baby Groot dancing. See, I have the same color in there, so if I have the same color in, I'll print things that I have planned already in that color, just so I don't have to change out a bunch of times.
Right.
I mean, I have 4 colors in there right now. What do I have in there? I have gold, yellow, red, and beige. So, but I do have a couple other prints. Like there's a Japanese statue. Oh, let's put that back down there. There we go. Japanese statue I wanted to do. Just a dragon statue that I was thinking would look good in red. I just don't know how big I want it. So, there's a dragon blue. I don't have any.
Red.
I do like red, yep. And red is a good dragon color.
Red and black actually are both good.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah, Mrs. Doe, actually that was as an adult too. I mean, we took the kids to swimming lessons. And we were in there with them. And all of a sudden these bunch of rowdy kids come in, jumping all over the place and splashing, and Mrs. Doe literally had a panic attack. So I mean,
Yeah. Well, and those aren't fun.
no, I can only say I've had like 1 or maybe 2, and that was actually because I was much more sick than I thought I was. So
Right.
yeah. So yeah, so that's got lots of stuff already talked through today, and it's only an hour and a half in. Any other questions out there? Comments? Chat topics? I'm sitting back.
Topic,
chilling.
did you say?
Well, I was talking about phobias today. That was a big one for me because I think it's so misused and so so manipulated, so manipulative. because I don't believe that you should call someone a phobe for disagreeing with you or saying something that you don't agree with.
Well, we shouldn't call anybody anything disagreeing with us. It's
Well,
okay to have for them to not.
You'd like to think that, but there are certain groups out there that will call you a phobe for just disagreeing with them or for not agreeing with them, which is really funny because, and I'm going to go with the gay community here. There's a fellow I know on Twitch who got called a homophobe. He's gay. He's literally, he's out of the closet gay. He's 100% gay. And he got called a homophobe. I'm going, huh? What? See, it's a manipulation technique to try and shut down dissenting voice. Right. He didn't agree with what was being said, and he doesn't agree with certain things. So his own community called him the same thing they call others who disagree with them, right?
Well, and I think the key there is what you're saying is if people disagree with what you're saying.
Yeah. And that's inappropriate, and that's a misuse of the terminology, right? Yeah,
but we've talked about that before too, how people just kind of change things around so it fits their narrative.
Exactly. And it's one of those things where it's why words are so important, right? Why we have to manage our words. And a lot of times people use it strictly out of emotion rather than out of common sense, right?
Right.
Because there's no fear just when you disagree with someone. So let's be realistic in the words we use, not melodramatic. And that's the problem. It's the melodrama that comes with accusing someone of something despite them saying very innocuous things. Just because I don't like something doesn't mean you can't do it. We're adults. You have the right to do what you want. Oh, bless you. Is that a sneeze?
Me? No.
Oh, what was that? It looked like you were sneezing.
No, I yawn.
Oh, okay.
The yawns are coming
more frequently.
Well, and I have to work. Like I had today off.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I'll have to get up early tomorrow, so I'm not looking forward to that.
What was your tea time today?
8:44.
Oh, that's not too bad.
But my start time tomorrow morning is 6:30, so that's like
worse.
2 hours earlier than what my last 2 days. Yeah. Yep. I was always a morning person, but I've kind of lost that. I struggle with it now.
When that's just in the last couple of years, I've noticed that you started to really change from being a morning person. Now,
I mean, I still get up early. It just takes me a little bit longer to get going, right?
To get motivated, yeah. Now, is that because you're because when I get up in the morning, I'm sore. I'm sore. Like it's hard to get motivated just past the pain.
Yeah. I never thought of it that way. I mean, yeah, I'm a little stiff in the morning and I move a little slower. But once I get going, it's not so bad.
Yeah, so it is working through the initial onset of what the stiffness and the pain till you get warmed up, basically.
I guess so. I guess so. I hadn't really thought of it that way, but that does make sense.
Yeah, because that's the way it is for me too. That's why I just laid in bed this morning, and aside from the fact that Melody's or Mrs. Doe was tickling me, and I'm going, oh yeah, that helps the pain.
Yeah,
it's a great distraction. So it's it's one of those things where, yeah, I just had no motivation to get up and warm up. Just basically get up and start my day. Because you wash up and you're already in pain. And so, yeah. But yeah.
Oh, I think you're right. That plays a part in it. But I always used to get up in the morning and do something, right?
Yeah.
Now I don't want to.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's a whole,
And like you said, this there.
yeah. And that goes along with the, you're tired already. As we get older, it gets easier to just not want to do stuff because it's, you're going to be in pain. You've got to fight to do it. So yeah, it's a different from getting up because I remember when I was young, even working security, it used to not matter how much sleep I got. Like even if I slept during the day, I could still be on call and I can be up within a second. If my pager went off, I was up in a second and I was ready to go.
Right.
And it's much, much harder to do that. Like if I wake up now, but there's a lot less, I can't just jump out of bed and go. It's going to hurt me later if I do.
Right.
So not looking forward to any emergency situations, but it'll be what it'll be. So yeah, that was where I was going today. Especially with the new laws coming into play in Canada. I thought, and it had to do with what you sent me, right? About that, about being the new hate speeches coming into play. So I think it's important that we start.
I'm gonna go grab you, but I can hear you.
Okay. I think it's important we start defining the words we're using, because if it comes to a court situation, you're going to need to adequately defend the words you used. So.
Well, I think it's fun that you do that word. Like to define a word, because it just stays with that whole root of like, you have to know definitions. Otherwise, how can you have a discussion about stuff if you don't know?
Well, if people are using two definitions of the word, you can't have a logical discussion, right? Because you're both assuming something different from the word, if you both are using it in different meanings, and there are some words that have two different meanings, and you have to come to an agreement on what you're meaning by that word sometimes. But most words have a singular meaning that is pretty evident and clear. What makes me not want to go out amongst people anymore? Watching all the Just Bins stuff from the Queen City X. I mean, why are people so freaking stupid? I mean, that shit never happened back when we were young. The exhibition used to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, now there's bear sprays and there's just
Constant.
and troublemaker.
Well, and the funny thing is, they don't care. There's no consequences. That's the problem. That's what we were talking about earlier. Just Bins had this one guy who just they sprayed people with bear mace. Then they went on a swing ride. They got caught and he's walking away and he's smiling at the cameras like, yeah, I can do whatever the hell I want. Oh.
Yep.
Consequences. Where are the consequences?
I thought they changed the laws for bear spray.
If for some reason they can still get it.
Well, it's like you're not supposed to be able to buy handguns, but you can still buy handguns.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
So,
criminals don't get illegal stuff legal ways. They get illegal stuff illegal ways. You know.
Yep.
I don't even. Yeah. Just Bins had lots of, and I couldn't believe the guy was just mugging for the camera, like he was proud of himself.
Yeah.
What a little douchebag.
That's pretty.
That's not gentle parenting. That's absentee parenting from that.
Yeah.
But you do have a lot of that in that community.
Right.
So I'm not saying one way or the other, but I think you understand.
I understand.
There are certain communities
I understand
that parent much less than others. Not all cultures are the same.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And I mean, I do understand the whole cultural thing. I do. What I struggle with is, why do you think you bring a culture to another country and change that country?
And that's the wrong way to think about it. If you're immigrating to a country with their own culture already and you're trying to implement your culture into that, no, get the fuck out. I'm sorry, get the fuck out. Either assimilate or fuck off.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem with, having your own.
Have a celebration if you want. Celebrate your culture. Don't force your culture on other people.
Right. I guess that's where I was kind of going. It's like, celebrate it. That's fine. It's who you are, and that's fine. That's part of being free. That's why they come here, to be free, right?
But don't bring your culture. Don't import your culture to a different culture. But
you're making us not free.
Yeah, exactly. Leave if
not all of them, of course, but I mean, let's not paint everyone with the same brush.
Let's be honest. If you want to live under a different culture, move to the culture you want to live under. Don't move to a culture that's different. I mean, it makes no sense logically, unless it was an invasion.
Well, that word is. I've actually seen that word used.
Yeah, and that's where you become
invasion.
Yeah, that's where it becomes, and it's an important word. It's an important distinction, right? Because if you're importing your culture to take over for a culture that you came into, that's an invasive. It's just like bringing a plant that doesn't belong here, and that would decimate the local plants. That's an invasive species, right? You don't import invasive species. Plants, animals, people. You don't. Bugs don't import invasive species. Period.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to be considered an invasive species, don't act like an invasive species.
Right.
And that's where I'm using my words very carefully there, because
yes.
It's not hate.
Right.
Yeah. So it's one of those things. Yeah, we do have to be more careful now, and we have to be very, very, very clear on the definitions we're using, right? Like when I was talking about phobia and I mentioned homophobia, don't get me wrong. I think bashing gay people is wrong. I think attacking them, wrong. I don't think it's appropriate in any way, shape, or form. But I do not think it's homophobia. I think it's an illegitimate response to something you don't like. It's not because they're scared, and I mean, it could be presented as no actual danger, except that we've seen some actual danger from that community, especially when it comes to children, right? So So that's where I see homophobe being the wrong word to use. And again, it's used as a shutdown technique to debate or conversation. But let's not do that. Let's stop shutting down based on inflammatory words. I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you do. I have no say over what you do as an adult. Period. I'm fine with it. I'm not going to call you names. I'm not going to do anything. I have friends who are gay. I don't care. That's not what's important. What's important is using words correctly and not painting people into something that they're not.
Yeah, well, that's really unfair for sure.
Yeah. And that's all I really want is fairness and truth, right? Just like we came.
Well, that's what I'd like to believe.
Yeah, just like we did with justice last time, right? We want fair, impartial, honest. Because, yeah, I have no problem with gay people. But at the same time, speaking out against people that target children should not create a situation where I'm called a homophobe, right? Because, and I believe that is one of the reasons Jack got called a homophobe. And that Jack is the fellow who's gay that I know. And I'm going.
But I mean, even by the definition you got there, I mean, it doesn't seem to me like homophobia should actually even be a word.
It shouldn't. There are lots of phobias that shouldn't be.
And like just basically reading. Right.
I understand that it's they need a word to appropriately describe people who are physical or vocally or whatever, who are blatantly disrespecting or hurting somehow. But I don't think homophobe is it. I think it's been
No, I think
overused.
those people are being hateful.
There's no reason for hate, but yeah, there needs to be a word that describes the hateful nature of some people towards them. Absolutely. But homophobe just never sat right with me. It never worked as a word for me.
Right.
Because we need to describe these hateful people in a way, but that was the only thing that had become available. So, but we've accepted this term, right. And now it's being maligned against people who it doesn't really belong against. And I just don't think the word fits right anyways, because it's not about being scared of something. That people aren't scared of gay people. That just doesn't work, right? There's an intense irrational fear. They may disagree with you, but that doesn't mean they are afraid of you. But hate is different, and it's not a fear. We need to call out the hatred, absolutely. But I think by calling them homophobe has lost.
Well, that's kind of where that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, I think we just need a better way to call out the hate.
Right.
I think there needs to be a more accurate term to call out the hate from those people from people that do attack. One of the funniest things, though,
we'll have to we'll have to invent a word.
Oh, I can invent the word? Can I?
That's your assignment for next week.
Oh my gosh, that could be interesting. But yeah, I think there needs to be an appropriate word to call out the hate for LGBT, right? Oh, LGBT. I only go as far as LGBT, but because again, with the tea, if you want to do it in the privacy of your own home and you're not forcing it on me, I don't care. Don't care.
Yeah.
But it's being forced, and that's where I care.
Right.
So, yeah, just to find a rational, logical word to call out the hate for the LGBT community is.
There's probably lots of words that have phobia behind it that are probably not correct words.
Inaccurate, like the
By
9/11
definition, I
culture.
should say.
The culture of 9/11, the behind 9/11. That's not a phobia. What, that's not an irrational fear. It's not irrational.
Right. Right.
It's a shutdown word, and then oftentimes they use the term phobe to shut down debate, discussion, and criticism. And debate, discussion, and criticism is a part of free speech. You're allowed to do that. You're not allowed to hate. Like that's why we actually.
Right. I was going to say free speech is good. Yeah, you can't use hate in your free speech, though.
Well, free speech is required for society to function. That is especially important to find those among us that we need to protect ourselves against. Right. That's the key.
Right.
It's a matter of being able to understand who these people are, but at the same time, if you're promoting hate against somebody, that free speech comes with consequences, right? You can't have free speech without consequences.
For sure.
And that's where hate speech laws are important. Yeah. But we have to determine what the hate is and who determines what hate speech is. And right now, what we have is a system that says anything deemed phobic is hate speech, right? And you can't just blanket cover everything like that.
Well, just by the definition alone, you're kind of proving that doesn't work.
That was kind of my point.
Or it's not proper.
Yeah, that was kind of my point.
Yeah.
It was because
I thought so.
Yeah. Because yes, we need to establish what hate is, but not everything is hate. And if everything is hate, then everybody is hateful. But let's be realistic here. Let's look at the facts and deem it, because we there's a lot of Hebrew-phobic stuff going on in Toronto right now.
Right.
Hebrew-phobic, not a word. Right? But if we're making up words, there's a lot of Hebrew-phobia in there in Toronto. So I mean, that let's deal with that hate. Let's deal with actual hate where businesses and people are being attacked.
Yeah.
Okay? If you're gonna make shit up, let's make up the words where that'll get actual stuff done. Let's protect people by making up words that protect people then. Okay, Hebrew-phobia, Christianophobia. Let's see, what else? But you see what I mean, right? If everything is a phobia, then nothing's a phobia. Then nothing's a phobe. So, and it's not even, even if I don't like it, sometimes you just don't care about it, but because it doesn't affect you.
Right.
I can disapprove of something and say, if you want to do that, that's still fine. Because that's freedom.
Right.
That is freedom. You have the freedom.
Well, and just because you don't like something, like for you and I, if we don't like something, we're probably going to just ignore it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not even...
Just move on.
It's more that we just don't care. Because it's
Right.
not... Do I think you should commit suicide? No, I don't. I hate that, but it's still your choice. I disagree with it,
Yes.
but it's still, you know, I can't stop someone. I would try to talk them out of it. I would, honestly. If I could, I would try to talk somebody out of it. But I mean, there's still that choice, right?
Yeah. Oh,
As a human being.
right.
So it's just, we have to be more logical, I think. And there's just not a lot of logic going on.
Well, I think we are missing that.
Yeah. Because, and leaving people alone. Leave people alone. Just leave them alone.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a good one, right? Just
Yeah.
let people be themselves, man. I
Be
mean, as
who they
long as
wanna
you're not
be.
doing anything illegal or
Yeah, that's the key right there. But then you look at the hate law speech, and what becomes illegal is what you say sometimes. So, but how do you justify that? I mean, it's a big circular of nonsense right now. Like, I mean, for the trans community in particular right now, they've gotten very, very pushy and very, very aggressive against women, which is a form of misogyny. Now dig that. What is the word misogyny? Do we know what misogyny is? I do.
they do not. Right?
You don't know what misogyny is. It's men's hate against women. Okay.
Right.
Let's look up the actual definition.
Well, I was going to say, by definition, is it a man's, or is it any?
Well, it's hatred, contempt, or prejudice against women or girls. It's a form of sexism to keep women in a lower status than men. So, essentially,
And that's the card they're playing right now.
well, they're not playing the misogyny. What they're doing is trying to say that their rights are more important than women having the right to their own bathroom. And that is a form of misogyny, where it keeps the women under their control, because as a man, they should have the ability to do whatever they want, even though they identify as a woman. So they're basically saying that but watching all the actual violence against women for standing up for women, it blows my mind. It's nonsense. I mean, especially from other women, and you know, you would expect it from guys, especially guys who are looking for special treatment rather than equality, because the extent of misogyny, it's a form of sexism that keep women at a lower social status than men. Men acting like women keep women at a lower social status than they are.
Maybe I shouldn't be so shocked, but I'm surprised that is still a thing nowadays.
It is. Yeah. I'm surprised that it's gotten this far. But we've gentle parented our way into oh, I didn't know I was coming back to that. I had no idea.
Well, but it makes sense, right?
Right? We've gentle parented, and let's be honest, there's no such thing as a trans kid. Kids don't think about that. Kids don't care about that. Kids don't live that way. Adults do.
Yeah,
Adults
I mean,
think about that. So
we just went outside and played, man. I didn't think about anything else.
Right?
Yeah.
There's and that's the thing. That's where That's where you have to be, and this they're going to call me a transphobe for this, right? Because I'm disagreeing with them. I'm saying just because you believe you're a woman doesn't make you a woman, and that makes me a transphobe. You see how the word comes into play when they try to shut you down, when they try to when they want to manipulate you, when they want to. It's about understanding words and using words appropriately and not watch how you get manipulated by words.
Right.
So the funniest thing, like when I was talking about misogyny there, misogyny was when women were kept at a lower class, when they couldn't have the vote, when they couldn't get jobs, when they couldn't, when they weren't allowed to do things equal to a man, like everything equal to a man, right? But we've gotten past that. We understand that women and men are essentially equal with differences.
Right.
And that's the key.
Well, I mean, we should be treated equally. Our body structure alone tells us we're the same.
Treated respectfully, equally.
Right.
But, and that's where...
That's a good way to do it.
Yeah, because, you should have the same opportunities, but there's a reason that women NBA players don't play with men NBA players. There's a reason that trans men or trans women NBA players will play with women, because they'll succeed, they'll advance, they're the best of the best then, right? It's more about the special interest, the special...
Or you're going to be stronger.
Exactly. And I think this is an important topic, especially after the male boxer in the Olympics beat the top female boxer. And I can't believe there's still people that will accept a man in a woman's sports. Even though says he's a woman, he's still biologically a man. There's no way to change that.
Right.
From birth, men are built differently than women. And there's a naturally evolutionary reason for that. It was generally the man who did the hunting, the fighting, the everything, right?
Yeah. The labor.
The labor. So let's be honest, men are essentially stronger. I mean, I was watching a YouTube thing on powerlifters, okay? Women powerlifters versus dwarves.
Oh, yeah.
Dwarves. Who won? The dwarves beat them 8-6, I believe it was. So, I mean, these are dwarves. These are miniature humans that are not as developed as a full man, right? They have the same body structures, but dwarfism has within itself a set of inherent problems. Usually combining arthritis, malformed ligament, malformed bones and ligaments. There's a whole bunch of genetic things that happen to dwarves because of the dwarfism. So these are not even structurally, they're structurally compromised men, and yet they were still able to pick up full-sized large women because they were power lifters. So it's one of those things where it just shows the inequality between men and women in physicality.
Right. Well, and I mean, our emotions are different.
Absolutely.
Like how we deal with things. And
yeah.
I mean, we just do. I mean,
I noticed that watching Mrs. Doe go to work. I noticed the difference between a number of females working together versus a number of men working together. Now,
Oh, yeah.
I've worked with females. Like it's not a problem. But when men work together, there's a different vibe, right? Like there's not that backbiting. There's not that talking behind each other's back. There's not that, there's like
Not traditional.
not traditionally, yeah. Oh, you see, it's like right there on the. You can oh the other way. It's right over there. It's on the screen. You see it? Bart's printing. It says right there.
Above the pic.
Above the picture. So yeah, there's a lot of issues that are coming up now that really shouldn't be coming up, and you have to wonder if it's not the it's still Baby Groot. Yeah, it's a Baby Groot dancing. It's just a different one. You have to wonder if these are not like because you don't go to an underdeveloped country and see all of these problems, right? Like all of the issues that have been brought into the forefront of that are nonsense. We have a lot more pressing things we could be thinking about rather than whether men should use the women's bathroom if they identify as a woman. Let's just say no and move on to something more important.
I mean, hey, if they want a bathroom, then give them a bathroom. But I don't understand, like using the same bathroom makes no sense to me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, do I care if a guy's standing up on a urinal peeing in a dress 2 stalls down, and it better be 2 stalls down for me because I don't care if you're a man or identify as a woman. I still want that stall in between us.
Yes.
It's a guy thing. It's a guy thing.
Indeed.
You give the stall.
Yeah.
I don't care if he's wearing a dress. Honestly, he's probably got an easier time peeing. He can just lift the dress up and let her rip.
Absolutely.
I'm thinking that might be a form of time to get some kilts. You know, because that seems like
I was talking about.
I have a kilt and it is much easier.
Yeah. Of course it is.
So yeah, I don't care if you look like a girl and you're standing up to pee. If you identify as a girl, probably don't look like a girl because not very many of them look like girls. So I'll be honest. But I don't care what you're wearing.
And it's back to just with both. Again, it's something men have just kind of always. It's been in our DNA where you protect the kids and you protect the ladies.
Well, yeah, and that's been a huge thing, especially with this whole equal rights movement. Like if you want everything equal, but there's still women that say no, men shouldn't hit women. No. What if a woman hits a man first? Should he hit him? Does he have the right to hit a woman? No, shouldn't hit a woman. Well, no. That's not how it works.
Right.
You can't have everything equal and you can hit me, but I can't hit you. That's just not how it works. These are going to be equal lefts and rights.
Want their cake? Want to eat it too.
And that's the thing. You've got to start living up to the consequences that you wanted to put forward. You wanted the action. You did the action. Now you get the consequences. And that's a lot of times that's what's going to be a problem, right? Because we always used to be, and growing up, we were designed and programmed to protect women and children. That's it. That's what we knew, right? But everything's changed so much that it's hard to. I protect my women and children, but everybody else is fair game. I mean, you're all equal now. We're all the same. So,
well, and that comes back to too. It's like, I won't say anything about you if you don't think about me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where society has gotten onto all these random bullshit topics, and they pick it up, and that's their hill to die on. There are more important issues. There are more important issues. Do you want to identify as a woman,
Absolutely. Actually,
but you're a guy? I really don't care until it affects me or my family. And if my family is going to use the women's washroom and you're trying to use the women's washroom, we're going to have a problem.
yeah.
Plain and simple.
It's
go to the
crazy,
men's. I do understand that there are guys out there that are what's the right word? Not offended, but feel so violently hatred towards people, is even trans, that they will attack. And I get that. I understand that there's people out there. I don't believe that, like, if there's a trans guy taking a pee beside me in a stall and he's attacked, I'm going to defend him. Plain and simple. It doesn't matter.
Right.
That's not the point.
Well, that goes back to that getting rid of the hate, right?
Getting rid of the hate. Yeah. Just no hate. Period.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's not about, if he's, I'll be honest, I'd be much more likely to defend someone who identified as a woman, in trans, who identified as a woman peeing in a men's room, than I would be if they were to try and go into a woman's room. I'll defend you in the men's room. I won't defend you in the woman's room.
Right.
Then we have a problem.
Right. And that comes down to just part of our old school, like, we're going to protect our kids, our grandkids, and our women. That's, sorry.
Well, and it's not just that.
If you don't like it or not,
I'll protect
that's what we grew up in.
I'll protect you if you're doing appropriate things.
Right.
That's the key.
Right. That's a good point. Yeah.
I don't care who you are, what you identify as, what your sexuality is, what your orientation is, what your nationality is, what your race is. It doesn't matter to me. Nothing about you but your character matters to me.
Well, character is what it's all about.
If you're doing the right things, I'm going to protect you. If you're doing the wrong things, then we're going to have a problem. It's pretty simple. Race, creed, color, orientation, identification doesn't matter. I don't care about any of it.
No. It doesn't matter. That's that whole thing.
No. What matters is character.
Right. Yep.
For me, anyways. That's for me.
I mean, I understand how. Oh no, I agree with that 100%. And that's where we have to be careful with our communication, because if you're not communicating with someone properly, you might misread their intentions.
Exactly. So, I mean, if someone's watching this, they see me out and about, and they're in fear, I hope they'd come to me. Because honestly, it's, you know, especially children. I mean, because first and foremost, I do want to protect children.
Right. Well, they're the future. I mean, whether we like the way it's going or not, they are the future.
They're incapable of protecting themselves. I mean, there's a reason
That's another thing,
yeah, there's a reason I went into security, and I was thinking about being a police officer.
Right.
Of course, back then they were very specific on eyesight and stuff like that. Otherwise, I would have made it in. But because I do believe that people deserve to be protected, right? Especially the young and people who can't protect themselves. So
the vulnerable,
yeah. Okay, so what we got going on here? You see this there's a There's one sticking out over here. That's going to be his leg.
Right.
His leg is coming out that way.
Really?
Yeah, because he's got one leg up.
Well, I figured that was probably some kind of a. I didn't think that was part of it.
Yeah, that's a support for what's going to be where his leg sits. And I took a picture of one of the prints that I was making just the other day. I took a picture of it, and as it was building, her arms were starting to form right from the fingertips up, but they hadn't gone to the body yet. So it was really unique to see how it layers and layers and why the supports are necessary.
Right.
So, yeah. So that's my feelings on hate. I don't like it. I won't put up with it. Because
Well, and you know what? For the most part, I try to use the word hate very, very little. Like I don't use it very much.
I do think it's
in any
overused
reference
as
to
well. I think you're right. I think it's overused. There's dislike.
And I've caught myself a few times where I'll say, "Oh, I hate that," and I went, "No, you know what? That's wrong."
I just don't like it.
May disagree with it. I may not like it. Whatever, but.
I'm gonna send you a picture if I can find it. Let's just go to here. I'm gonna send you a picture of what I was talking about with the support that with the woman's arms.
Oh, right. Okay.
There, that's a good one. So we're gonna send that messenger chats to you. Now I posted this in our Discord as well. Like my Discord, Mrs. Doe in my Discord. And it shows how you can see the arm is building up on the left arm is building up, but it hasn't attached to the body at all. And that's what the supports are there to do, to hold that in place until it actually attaches to the body.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Isn't it? The first time I ever really dealt with a support issue was I did a yarn bowl for Mrs. Doe. And it had a curly Q piggy tail at the back that you stuck your yarn through so it doesn't catch. And the support gave way off the plate, and this pigtail just kind of flopped over. I'm going, well, crap, why did it do that? So I needed to make it stronger give it more support until it actually reached the place where it needed to be. So it's just interesting to watch it, to figure out how it works. So I hope we've made ourselves as clear as possible on our definition of hate and the wrongness of phobes. Because there's no place for hate.
No, that goes back to that, like, yeah. I mean, we said it right. If someone chooses to take it wrong, well, that's going to be on them.
I hope I've said it right, because I was feeling like I'm trying to get this through my head appropriately so I can put it out there, but because hate is wrong, period. I mean, are there things you should hate? Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's some things you should hate. But not
right.
Okay, good. I just wanted to be clear, because if there's nothing else, I want to make sure that I'm getting a clear message across, because it's miscommunication that often causes issues with people, between people. So,
Right.
and sometimes it's just trying to figure out how to explain yourself or how to express what you're thinking. I usually don't have too hard a time, but sometimes I think I say stuff
Right.
and people might take it differently than I'm meaning it. So I try to explain further. Okay, good. And that's what I thought.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes my communication can use some work, but I'm trying. I'm working. This is a good effort in
Yeah.
communication skills, right?
Right. But we still can't control how people choose to take something.
No, and that's true, and that's what I said. I mean, you're responsible for what you say. You're not responsible for how people take it, and that's the problem. People do.
Right.
There's a lot of people out there who want to take it wrong, who will want to take what you're saying in a different way than you mean it, who try to manipulate your own words against you. And you can tell they've lost
Well,
when someone has to do that, they've lost the argument already because they don't have no argument.
well, they have an agenda.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're not trying to have a discussion or even an argument.
No.
They just want to attack people. And now, and there you go. You want to go back to hate and like, I mean, that's what they're doing,
Yeah, exactly.
to be honest.
Yeah.
In some cases, anyway.
You're not supposed to be looking at Facebook messages when you're on chat. I see the one you sent me. But you're right, though. I mean, nobody ran to the east side of Germany when the wall came down. Everybody ran to the west.
No.
Way to go, communism. Oh, that was
just,
real.
That just up while I'm the picture.
Oh, okay, but that's not real communism. That's not real communism.
No.
No, it's never been done right. Got to do it again so it can be done right. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's the excuse.
Maybe we should learn from history, right?
Those who fail to learn from history are doomed
Not
to
try
repeat
to
it.
erase it.
Yeah. 100%.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh well,
Yeah, he sent me a meme on communism.
we'll have some interesting time.
We'll have some interesting times yet. Yeah. Oh, but the Supreme Court
Yeah,
9-0 decision. Did you hear? The Supreme Court decided that Justin Trudeau was not exempt from all the ethics violations that he had. That the Constitution did not.
I still think we'll find a way to bury it.
Oh, I don't think there's going to be any jail time coming out of this or anything like that. But at the same time, the Supreme Court did make a very monumentous decision based on the Constitution, where they said that
Right.
the Liberals couldn't just. The lower courts said, well, we can't really decide because the words of the Constitution are very, very obfuscated. Very okay. I did obfuscate once. Who remembers what obfuscate means? Anybody?
Not me.
It makes it muddy or confuses the situation. To darken, obscure, or becloud. They said that the words in the Constitution were too obscure, that they couldn't really rule on it, so they had to give the Liberals a pass. Supreme Court decided no, it's clear. They are ethically responsible, and now that
I mean, that's a big deal.
it is a big deal. It's a big deal, even for the fact that it was acknowledged that he did wrong, right? Because it
Right.
puts in people's heads the fact he did wrong. That it makes people understand he did wrong. We knew he did wrong. We saw him do wrong. He basically admitted to doing wrong, but he said he was immune. And parliamentary privilege does not immune him to that anymore. So that going forward, that's still a really good, a good thing for Canadian law to have acknowledged that lawmakers are not exempt from the law.
Right.
It's important.
Well, but like I did say, though, he's going to go down as one of the most influential, in a way, prime ministers, because he showed everyone what's wrong.
Yeah.
And he abused it, took advantage of it. And so some
in
things
every
I
way
think will
he
get
could,
cleaned
yeah.
up because of this.
Oh, absolutely. And that would be the best thing to happen. Because you can trust when a government comes into power that does things right, you expect that that's because of the checks and balances that were in place, right? That wasn't the case. And we saw that with the transition from Harper to Trudeau. We saw that the checks and balances that we thought were in place that were keeping Harper in place were not the case. It was the moral guidance of the person in charge that was keeping him in place rather than the checks and balances. We expected the checks and everybody expected the checks and balances to maintain Trudeau in place. Didn't happen. He exploited every opportunity he can, and he showed the weakness to exploit the system for those in power. So what we came from was a moral direction to an immoral direction, showing the weakness. And that's why I think you mean he's going to be the most influential prime minister in history, because he showed the faults within the system and how an immoral person can abuse and use the system.
Well, yeah, and when I say influential, I do not. Well, I mean, if good things come out of it, you know what? Time will tell. Like, if good things come out of it, well, then okay. I mean, like, make the best of a bad situation, but
yeah. So, yeah, it showed the, and here's Justin Trudeau sitting in the House of Commons, calling for the resignation of someone who paid $9 for orange juice prior to his accepting $300,000 trips and accepting this and paying outrageous amounts for food in his airplanes and it shows the hypocrisy of what they voted for.
oh yes, I like that word.
Yeah, it shows that the moral character between the two parties, between the two major parties that we have, does not compare. There's a moral party and there's an immoral party, and you know which one is which, plain and simple.
Well, the evidence is there, right?
The evidence that's exactly it. Like, I mean, you can be skeptical of both parties, but you can see which party did what when they were in power. And that's the key to understanding what the next party in power will do. And we see it already with $300,000 or $150,000, sorry, in one flight for Carney on food alone. You see the immorality of the left-wing party here. They never used to. Killer is they never used to be a left-wing party. They used to be the centrist party.
That's right.
They used to be what was called the centrist party. That's why they got so much support in the beginning, is because their big tent did actually fit more people. But that's not the case anymore. And we saw that come into play when the SNC Lavalin scandal, and even before that, with ad scam back in the 90s. Ad scam was the ideal catalyst to show how a party could manipulate and abuse the system. And they did. They got called on it. They got charged for it. They got outed from government because of it. The fact that the current one,
I don't know if I sent.
The fact that the current government hasn't been ousted because of all of the scandals is beyond me. Oh, I saw that. Yeah. Oh.
You did see that? I mean,
I saw he was up for it.
There's a people. You cannot tell me that they're not paying him off for everything that he did.
Absolutely. Well, you look at the floor crossers that happened. Okay, the floor crossers to give the Liberals their current minority or majority government, just barely a majority government. The floor crossers were bribed. It goes against Canadian law to do that. And they're not bribed personally, I don't think. Right. The only bribe that I'm aware of was for the constituents to benefit, which is not entirely bad, but it's still illegal.
It's not the way it's supposed.
No. The constituents should have a say, and they should go to a referendum.
It would be hard to prove, but
yeah. Oh, she admitted as much that's why. That because her riding would get more funds from the government.
Right.
So, but I think anytime.
Well, then,
I really think they need to. Good. I think if the more moral party gets into power again, I think there should be an addendum to how Parliament works, where they any floor crossers. Oh, my bad. I moved away there for a second. Any floor crossers, that seat is up for a referendum before anything else. If you decide you don't want to sit for a party anymore, then that seat gets a referendum to see what the constituency wants. And that would make sense. That's
government is trying to close.
Sorry?
Oh, I said if they could get in with the majority government, they should try to start closing off some of the loopholes.
Absolutely should. And honestly, I'm putting my name in there for a Senate seat right now. I'd be happy to help. I think I'd make an okay senator.
Yeah.
Would you want me to represent you as Saskatchewan as a senator?
Well, the senators should not be appointed. That's another one.
And I would vote against it. I would vote for an elected Senate. 100%. As a senator, I would vote for it. Yeah. But then it's not about me, right? It's about what's right.
But the ones there, they just got a nice cushy job, so they're not going to wreck that.
And so many, and a lot of them have changed their tunes to get those seats, right? They changed to be liberal bootlickers to get those seats.
Right.
So, yeah, no. Hey, liberals, you want to give me a Senate seat?
I don't know.
Show that you're nonpartisan. Give me a Senate seat. I'm here for you. I'll work for the Senate,
Yeah.
for the Canadian people. That would never happen. Never.
They don't want you working, Bob.
They would
They don't
never
want you
want me
working.
there. No, that I would be. Oh God,
No.
can you imagine the Liberals selecting someone like me to be a senator?
Yeah.
They would not want me near them because no, homie, don't play ball.
Yeah, but you don't. Yeah. You don't fit their narrative at all.
No, it'd be funny if they did though, just to say, "Oh, well, he doesn't think so, huh?" Or you see, we're not partisan. We want nonpartisan. We want people who don't just agree with us wholeheartedly. I mean, they could show their willingness to accept diverse opinions, but no, that would never happen. No. So, anyways, that's that. I put my name out there. Want to vote for me? I wish you could.
Well, I mean, if the thing of it, I mean, if you want things to be better, you have to, or don't complain about it.
Yep. I wish I could do a little more in that manner,
It's just how that.
but at least I'm keeping an eye on what's going on and not sticking my head in the sand. Because honestly,
No.
sometimes you just feel like doing that. Exactly that. Sticking your head in the sand. I mean,
Oh, some days I do it so I don't explode.
I was just going to say, to be fair, I do it sometimes. I just let it go. I don't think about it. I don't talk about it. I don't
Just gotta let it go.
Yep. Go play a game or watch a show and ignore it.
Yes.
Oh, wait. Is that an anxiety
Pick it up.
disorder?
The next
It causes me severe distress and avoidance behavior? Wait. I have government phobia.
Maybe. There you go.
Oh, wait. No, it's not a phobia because it's not irrational or
Well,
it's not irrational, and they pose more actual danger and threat. So
right.
it's a literal phobia.
Well, the anxiety part of it is like being around people sometimes I can feel like that.
Oh yeah. Hey Deb. Yeah, no, I get it. And like I was saying earlier, I mean, you watch just okay, for those who don't know, Just Bins, a local garbage company here in town, posts a lot of videos about what's going on in our city. Okay, they don't do it with narrative. They don't do it with they just let you know what's going on, and they show you how it happened. Right. They come back a little later with some explanations, but they start off just what's that?
Videos and
Yeah, they start off just showing you the video. So seeing a lot of stuff from these guys that you don't get on news. You just don't get on news anymore because it's not really news, it's narratives. So I watch a lot of these videos, and I'm watching like a 21-year-old stabbed, a 34-year-old attacked with bear mace down like in downtown, and you're seeing all of these crimes that are happening that you don't get to see on the news anymore because it's all narrative driven. And I'm going, where's the news? Where is all this stuff? I mean, there's legitimate reason for people to be not people-y. Because I'm watching this, I'm going, yeah, I don't want to go outside. Why would I want to? There's these people are out there. You know? So it's just one of those things. I mean, because I get into a situation out there, things are not going to go well. I don't know for who, but things are not going to go well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's
I got
probably
the
just
spinning ball going on here.
oh, do ya?
Yeah. Oh, stop now.
We're just catching up to Darren here, or darts.
She's been pretty good tonight.
I noticed a few times it's been lagging though. There, he's back.
Okay.
I thought I'd put that up for you. How you doing tonight, Deb? So yeah, it's one of those things where I just don't want to be people-y.
This morning for her, right?
Yes, Australia,
Yeah.
Tasmania. Yep. Because there's too many.
Oh, there you go.
A
Perfect.
bit of a rough night. Yeah, no, I hear ya. I hear ya. I got a little bit. Mine was a little bit rough. I got overworked yesterday because I expected to do one print for Mrs. Doe and one print for me and have two perfectly good paper towel holders. That didn't work. Ended up doing two for each of us. Now, granted, they only took like 4 hours each, but the IBS. No, I'm wondering. It's starting to wonder if I got IBS because today was scary. Feel fine now. It was cold. It's
Are
chilly.
you going to
today.
raid us out somewhere tonight, or?
Am I going to? Let's see who. Oh, you were thinking about supper already, are you?
I'm thinking about supper already. Yep. I'm getting hungry.
You know what? I am not seeing anybody that would make a decent raid tonight, so I'm just gonna leave it again tonight. I'm gonna have to actually start looking for people, like just chatting people or podcasting people or stuff like that, so that that they have more in common. Like we can raid into things that are different. Like there's one girl that's doing she's really good at art at drawing, and like she's very good, but you know it's like raiding into someone that's doing a completely different thing than you are makes it a little bit awkward sometimes, I guess. Like we're not
Right.
playing a game or anything like that.
Yeah.
It just doesn't fit. So I'm going to leave it
Right.
with that then tonight, and I'll try and figure something out more for people to raid. I'm gonna have to start looking around, I guess.
Right.
So yeah, if that's it for you for tonight, because you've been yawning the whole darn time.
I know. I'm sorry about that.
Usually
Maybe I should have had a coffee.
we usually give Misha heck for that, but he's much louder at yawning than you are.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're gonna just end
Yeah,
it there for tonight.
It wasn't because it was boring.
No. It's just sometimes you get older, you need the nap, or you get tired,
Or you yawn.
or you yawn. Yeah. So. Yeah, but I'm okay with
I
leaving
got
it
my.
there tonight.
Before we leave. Yeah. I did finally get my first CPP check, though.
Oh, good. That's good news. Yeah. Well, it would have come at the end of the month, eh? Yeah.
Yeah, it did. You're right.
Yawning needs your brain. My brain needs oxygen too.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a kitty at our front door.
Need some home, man.
He came up to our front door. Why do you,
I must be.
why is there a little black kitty at my door? Sorry, I was looking outside. He just walks up to our door and then down. Okay. So yeah, I'll leave it with that tonight. I'll just
You got so much more to look at and everything.
only Bart. What only Bart? Need to look into what? Well, I'm gonna put it to the ending screen here. Thank you everybody for coming in. Thanks for joining us. Hope to see you next Monday. Hope you didn't get too bored and we did make ourselves as clear as possible. So looking at the door, I'm always looking outside. But look forward to seeing you again next week. So have yourselves a good night.